What's up? Welcome back to the Metalhead Car Show. We are at Wesley Clover Park right now on this beautiful Saturday morning in Ottawa. This means the start to day 2 of the Ottawa Ferrari Fest. Day 1 was a blast. Got to see a lot of cool cars I've never seen before. If you didn't watch that video, go check it out. Plan today, we're gonna hang out at Wesley Clover Park for a little bit. I'm gonna film some of the cars here. We're gonna drive to Preston Street, which we're doing the parade down Preston Street. And after that, we're doing the Ferrari demo zone on Carling Avenue, which hopefully is going to be a lot of burnouts and cool stuff we're going to see then go tearing down Carling Avenue. We're here pretty early. Right now, there's only 2 cars here. They're right over there, along with the ducks. But since we're early, we're going to film some of the cars pull in, get some cool shots, and see what we get. All right, enough of me. Let's get right into it. Walk, baby. Behind me is millions of dollars worth of super cool cars and one Brit. Let's go check them out. Starting off with the Liberty Walk Italia. Now, we saw this car last night, but more of a chill, relaxed environment now, so I want to get some close-ups of it. So the Italia is already a super cool car, but this wide body just makes it so aggressive. Let's look at this. Like, Liberty Walk killed it, especially from this angle where you can kind of see where it comes in through the vents at the back with that gigantic wing on it. Beautiful car. Massive lip on the rear wheels too. Watching these two roll in was a lot of fun. The owners were not afraid to give it the beans. These things sound fantastic, and from filming that intro, I can safely say that V12 owners are more inclined to rev the shit out of their cars than the V8 owners are. Why? I don't know. Seeing it from this angle, I get a lot of Alpha 8C, which I'm not complaining about because I think that's the most beautiful car out there. And this is also a pretty big treat because you don't really see many of these in Ottawa, so very cool. Along with that, the A12s. These things are awesome. They're so cool, and one of the most aggressively styled sports cars ever. Like, seeing how long that front end is compared to that short slope in the rear end, that's a super cool car. I've always loved the styling of its rear end. It's not just a standard shaped window, it kind of cuts in at the top there. The FF doesn't get a lot of love, but I can safely say it's probably the best sounding car here. There was one of these last night along with another one I think was also black. The owners revved the shit out of them. Which I think is basically an Enzo engine, one form or another, but super, super cool car. It's also one of the most unique Ferraris ever. It was the first all-wheel drive car. It was the first shooting brake since probably the 60s to the 70s. I've always loved the 550 Maranello. I think these things are aging beautifully, along with, well, they're goddamn gorgeous. Also, this particular one, very small thing, but I love it. It's a manual. And I think this is probably one of the final full production gated manual front engine V12 cars, which is a pretty niche thing to quantify, but I think the only one is a very low production of manual 599 cars, which super hard to come by. So love this thing, but I gotta take a look at this Performante. See these things before, but I've never seen one up close, and I gotta say this carbon fiber is gorgeous. But also, if there's anyone who wants to let me a Performante, I'll take it for a spin, don't worry about it. Also got this 430 here. Really cool thing about it, much like that a 550, gated manual. I love the 430s and the Italias. They're the last naturally aspirated V8 Ferraris ever, I think, because everything went to twin turbos and great engines, but they sound a little bit different, they rev differently, and just kind of the end of an era. I do truly love them. The Testarossa, arguably the most iconic styled Ferrari, purely because of these super aggressive vents on them. Just look at these things, massive. And they go with that beautiful swoop going up the rear fender. Go to, once again, the most iconic rear end of any supercar ever. It has been forever since I've seen a Scud. Like, I've probably seen one at one of these festivals in the past, but I don't think I could tell you because it's been that long. These things were super cool. I remember watching these things on Top Gear when they first got their hands on one back in like 2009, I think. And maybe earlier than that. But they're just so aggressive and so raw. I love these things. Also, looking at it, it has carbon fiber everywhere. I don't know if it will really come through on camera, but the entire walls of the engine bay are all carbon fiber, which now isn't really the craziest thing ever, but keep in mind this is a car from 07, 08, maybe 09, somewhere around there. So having that much carbon on a car from that era is really cool and kind of special. Also, not to ignore the F8 right next to it. This is the first F8 I've ever seen, and I'm pretty sure these things are on the same chassis as the Italia, which I'm not complaining about. Look at that rear end from this angle, beautiful. Again, I've never actually seen one of these up close. These vents are absolutely enormous on this car. And I remember giving this car some flack because I thought it was kind of a modified Italia when it first came out, which truly I think it kind of is, but just looking at it from this angle, this car is so aggressive. I love it. And I'm pretty sure, well, the camera's just not going to drop. That goes right to the bottom. Cool. Very cool. It's a small thing, but I need to acknowledge it. Orange Ferrari. Like you can see, compared to every single other car here, it's definitely not red. I don't think I've ever seen an orange Ferrari before. And again, it's on a Italia, which I think is one of the best Ferraris ever made. It's super cool and both kind of weird to see one of this color because in everyone's mind, Ferrari is red. So seeing one in not red, yellow, black, or whatever, especially such a light color, it's really cool to see. So there's some beautiful cars here. I'm glad I've got to go check them out. The next thing we'll be doing right now is probably heading to Carling or heading to Preston Street so we can start the parade and the demo zone down Carling, which I'm super looking forward to. I'm gonna try getting one of these cars. We'll see what happens. But yeah, next we're going to skip to this moment.